So the ingredients we need to make our chicken curry are 2 medium-sized onions, 3 tomatoes. The onions I just diced up long, like that. And then the tomatoes I diced up into smaller pieces. Ginger and garlic paste. I did 1 large jalapeno. You could put more depending on how spicy you want the food. My chicken, I took about 1 kg of chicken. These are chicken breast, and I just cut them into like cube size pieces. And I think I cut about 6 chicken breasts. Turmeric powder, which is haldi powder. Red chili powder, which is lal mirch powder. And then for our dry spices we have, bay leaves, black peppercorn, some cinnamon, some jeera seeds, and some whole coriander seeds. So what I did is I just took a pan and I put my gas on medium, and I'm just gonna add my whole spices to the pan and let them roast for a bit, and then I'm gonna grind them up and make my own like a masala out of it. So we're just gonna take a little bit of all of this and let it roast in our pan for a little bit. So we're gonna do about two teaspoons, and then another teaspoon of these, and then we'll take about, how many are those? Maybe like 8 or 9 cloves. I'm gonna put 4 bay leaves, and then we're gonna do like 1.5 a smaller cinnamon stick. And we're just gonna let these roast on medium for a little while. Once they get nice and warm, the flavors kind of start releasing from the ingredients, then we'll go ahead and grind them up and make a little powder. While my dry ingredients are kind of roasting for a little bit, I'll go ahead and season my chicken. So what I do for the chicken, and not everybody does this, you don't even have to use this step. You can just add your chicken into your masala, to your spices, but I just like to flavor it a little bit, so I put a little bit of salt, and then I put a little bit of red chili powder, and then I just mix it all up and let my chicken kind of marinate in those spices. Alright, now that my dry spices have roasted a bit, I can kind of smell like all the ingredients coming, just like the flavor popping out of them. I'm going to take all of this and I'm just going to put it in my blender and make a powder out of it. And as you see, I mixed all my my red chili powder and my salt into my chicken, and I'm just going to put that in the fridge till we're ready to put it in our spices. Alright, and there is a mix of all my dry spices, and this will get added into the curry later. If you do not want to go through this step and you want to just make it easier, you could always just go to the store and buy some garam masala, which is the same thing that I just did here, and that would make life much easier. But trust me, if you do it this way, it does taste a lot better and it's more authentic, but of course that is a replacement. Alright, so I went ahead and added some oil to my pan. I put the gas on about 8, and I'm just going to let this warm up, and then we'll go ahead and add our jeera seeds and our asafoetida powder, which is super good for digestion, so I put this on all my food, and then our onions. Drop a few seeds. If they start to sizzle, I know my oil is nice and hot. So I take the asafoetida powder and I just sprinkle some just like that in the oil. Give it a swirl. And then take our jeera seeds, about 1 teaspoon, and I just sprinkled those right there. And I'll let them brown up for a second. Once those kind of start turning a light brown, I'm gonna go ahead and take my onions. We're gonna go ahead and put our onions in. Most Indian dishes, the first thing you want to do is you want to cook up your onions and make them nice and brown, and then add your tomatoes. This is a little bit different. The chicken curry I'm making, we're gonna of course cook the onions. We're gonna get them nice and translucent, not brown. So once they start sweating and get translucent, we're gonna go ahead and add our ginger and garlic paste, our green chilies, and then our tomatoes. So we're not gonna cook them super brown. So make sure you keep an eye out and just keep on shaking them and don't let them turn really brown. So my onions are nice and translucent. We kind of want this color, not too brown. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our green chilies right here. And we'll just mix that all together. So we kind of let the green chilies cook for a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and add our garlic and ginger paste. Start with the garlic, get like 1 teaspoon. And then a teaspoon of our ginger. Alright, and we'll just mix that all together. Ginger and garlic paste, cook for a little bit, mixed it all up. Now we're going to go ahead and add our spices. We're going to take half a teaspoon, less than half a teaspoon of turmeric. And depending on how spicy you want it, I'm just going to do a half teaspoon of red chili powder. And go ahead and mix that all up. We mixed all our spices up together. Now we're going to go ahead and add our tomatoes. Alright. And with our tomatoes, we're going to go ahead and add the spice that we made before. So we'll just add that. And now we'll just mix it all together. We're going to go ahead and cover this up, and we're going to let the tomatoes cook, and we'll add the chicken once the tomatoes are kind of mushy and like all mushy and kind of blended in with the onions. We'll go ahead and add our chicken. Just came back to check on my masala, and the tomatoes look like they could melt up a little bit more, so I'm going to cover it back up and let it maybe sit for another 5 minutes, and then we'll add the chicken. Alright, oh, super steamy. So our tomatoes are looking good, everything's kind of mashed up and blended up together, looks great. So now we're going to go ahead and add our chicken. And what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and add this chicken, we're going to mix it all up, let it cook for a while. We're going to come on, constantly shake it up, make sure nothing's burning, make sure everything's okay, and we'll just let the chicken really cook in before we put the water. It's all mixed up with our masala, and I'm going to go ahead and cover this back up, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on 5, and we're just going to let it cook, and I'll come check on it and spin it up again and just let the chicken cook. Uncover and check on our chicken. Looks good. So as you can see, the chicken releases so much water, so you really don't, that's why we first go ahead and put the chicken in, let it cook a little bit, and then add the water, because you might add too much because the chicken's going to release a lot of its juices. I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up, give it a good stir, and let it cook for a little longer. Look great, and it smells absolutely amazing in here. So we're going to go ahead and add our water. Water really depends on how much gravy you want in your chicken curry. I'm going to go ahead and add 3 cups of water, and I have it in a bowl right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there. And like, you don't have to do 3 cups, you can kind of add a little bit and then see if that's enough gravy or if you want to add more. So just going to mix it up, add a little bit more. So that's a total of 3 cups. I just add a little bit at a time so I can make sure it's the right amount of gravy that I want. Alright, and I'm just going to mix this up, and I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it and let it come to a boil, and then we're going to add some coriander leaves, and we're all done. Alright, we're going to go ahead and open up and check on our chicken curry. And it is looking and smelling amazing. Sorry, it's so hot, it's steaming up a little bit. There we go. And now the last thing that we need to do is just garnish it with some coriander leaves. So I'm just going to take my coriander leaves that I had chopped up, just finely chop them and throw some in there. I like to put a lot of it. I love coriander leaves. I just think it gives it such a nice, fresh, and like yummy taste. Alright, so drop that in there. Go ahead and mix all that up. And you guys, you are ready to serve this delicious chicken curry with anything you want. You could eat it with naan, roti, paratha, rice. It's whatever you guys want to eat it with. It's absolutely delicious and so super easy to make. Didn't take me that long at all. Alright, please subscribe and like my video. Thank you.